This is going to be episode 3 on the Getting Funded as a Trader series, and I'm quickly going to go over what we have spoken about. This is the first one that I'm going to be posting on YouTube. The rest are just paid and Instagram posts, so do well enough to follow, because I'm going to be posting and talking a lot about how traders can get funded and how to grow as a Forex trader. Alright, so on episode 1, what we talked about was the plain truth about earning money as a person, because you need to understand what value of money is. It goes without saying that the money that you don't have, when you spend it, you don't know what it cost who provided the money in the first place. So whether it's a service that you render to people so that you earn money while you are trying to grow your account or even get better as a Forex trader, it is very important that you do that. For me, it was social media management. And thank God for my mentor back in the day, Swaggy, mentioned that you needed to get a job so that you earn money while your Forex skill grows bit by bit. So I did that, and now I run a social media marketing agency, but my first love is still with Forex trading. But at the time, my Forex hasn't grown enough for me to depend on it for anything, and I needed to put in some money that I made from providing such services so that I'm able to fund my account. What I also mentioned on episode 1 is that doing this will reduce a lot of pressure for you as maybe a beginner or even somebody that is not yet profitable trading. And then secondly, on episode 2, I went on by talking about different types of funding, which we have personal funds and other people's money. And some of the talking point there is that both are good forms of funds. Of course, money is always good in whatever form that they come in, but one is going to give you the authority and the ease that you need starting out, while the other one might be a quicker way to scale. So when it comes to personal funds, it also relates to the very first point, that this is the money that you have kept aside from a business or from your earnings providing services or products. And when it comes to other people's money, it could be your friends or family, until you have the legal right to invest for people, or you become a very profitable trader and you have a fund management firm. It could be friends and family giving you their money to trade with, which could come with some tension if you are not profitable yet, or if you don't have the right knowledge or the right structure in place. As for me, I also have experience on this part. The first one I started with was with my own money, which I saved from me being a core member, NYSC. In Nigeria, when you are done with your studies at the university, you're expected to serve your country for a year and you're going to be paid for that. In fact, that will be the first time I'm really earning money, and I was able to put money aside on that while I learned Forex. I digress a little bit. The first time I took Forex seriously was when I had to go for what we call Sahid as a core member. The Sahid, I had to appear there, I think, if I can remember clearly, was it once a week or twice a week, or depending on the arrangement that I have. And at the point, I told myself, Forex should be my own Sahid, right? Because I thought about, if I learn this skill that the government thinks will empower me, if I actually learned this skill, how long before I start making money? How long before I become good? Let's say I become good in 6 months. How much money can I earn doing this stuff, being the best person doing this stuff, right? For me, it didn't sit well with me. Of course, I know I don't have to be the best to make money. But then I thought about the person teaching me this thing, how much money do they make a year? Of course, the answer is so easy. This person won't be making $100,000 a year, right? So I thought to myself, I need to sharpen my Forex skill. So I told myself I was going to spend more time sharpening my Forex trading skill. And of course, after you have done this, primarily sharpening your skill, you are not going to become the best before you start, before you put money in an account. You just need to know the basics, because putting money in an account still requires that you learn the emotions that comes with losing money, which is better with your own money other than other people's money. I think that answers that. So let's move on to the purpose of this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about other people's money, and basically we are going to be talking about prop firms, right? So when it comes to prop firms, I categorize it other people's money because the whole idea of prop firm is that it's not really your money. So I'm going to be using scenarios that will help you understand what prop firms are, even as a Nigerian. I'm not going to be using the English and definitions. You could go to Google and get that. I'm going to be giving you the real deal about what prop firms are. Now, I told myself I wasn't going to make this video until I had evidence and results, and I think I'll put that on screenshot on the screen right now about payouts with companies like 10 Trade, with companies like Funded Trader or so. And I've also failed challenges with companies like FTMO, ETC, etc. So I think I have the insider experience and knowledge to tell you what prop firms are, right? So let me use this analogy. Prop firms are like, what I define them as is like they are cooperatives, so to say. So you have a business, and we know all business needs capital, right? And you go to the bank to get loan for your business, and the bank be like, oh, okay, we are going to give you this money, but make sure that you don't spend it anyhow. They offer guidance on, okay, this is how you are going to spend it so that you don't lose this much while you are trying to make this much. And when you make money, you are going to pay us back. So prop firms are like that. They are like banks to Forex traders. But what they do is a little bit dynamic and different and very interesting. In fact, the first time I heard about prop firm and thought about it, I thought it was a scam. So I didn't want to do it. So many people might be right when they say, oh, prop firm is scam, blah, blah, blah. Maybe probably have not really cashed out before and they don't understand how it is. But I'm going to explain how it is. And by the way, it was one of my payouts that I used to buy this wristwatch for myself last year. Anyways, going back into it. So you are a Forex trader and you need money to fund your account. A prop firm will come to you, or you go to a prop firm, whichever the case may be. Oh, I need money. Then they will offer you different categories of accounts. But before you get into laying hands on this account, we want to check if you are really a trader, because anybody can come for their money. I mean, the prop firm, and be like, oh, I'm a trader, give me an account, let me trade it. And then they give them the account and they blow the account. On whose money are they going to be gambling with? So this prop firms requires you to test you that you are actually a trader. Of course, they would have asked you to bring a spreadsheet of your reports, but that could be falsified. So what the structure did was to be able to, or what the structure is to be able to provide an environment where you are being tested on your skill, right? So they bring out a lot of criteria that you must meet as a Forex trader before you actually get into taking the money and them trusting you. So let me break it down again. So you go to them, oh, I need money, I want to trade Forex, I don't have enough capital, can you guys give me capital? Then the prop firm be like, yes, of course, we can give you capital, can you trade? And you say yes. Then they be like, wait, are you sure you can trade? We need to test if you actually can trade. So what they are going to do is most of them require that you pay a fee. They require that you pay a fee to acquire the account size that you want to be tested on, right? So when you pay this fee, that is where it's beginning to look like a scam to a Nigerian like me, because if you guys want to give me money, why would you want my money first, right? But that is a small thing. So they require a small fee of, let's say, for example, you want to get a $10,000 account to trade with, right? They might require that you put up a fee of like $100 to get access to the account. So once you agree and be like, okay, $100 is cool, take my $100, they take your money and then they give you this $10,000 account. You have the password, you have the access into the account. But they now tell you before you leave their office, like, guy, come on this account, try to make 10% return, meaning that make 1,000 naira on this, $1,000 on this 10,000. One, then you be like, oh, okay, that is doable, I can do that, why not? They be like, calm down, chill. That's not all. Secondly, in a single trading day, you must not lose up to 5%. They'll be like, okay, let's say that's $500. You must not lose $500 in a single day. And during the whole process of trying to make $1,000, you must not lose $1,000 overall drawdown and daily drawdown, right? Are you getting it now? So once that is being said to you and you be like, okay, I think I can do that. So that places you in a psychological state of understanding that 10,000 wasn't 10,000 really. That 10,000 was like somebody putting $1,000 in an account for you on your $100. But when you still think about it, it still looks like a good deal. So you go ahead, you pay. And before now, they used to have numbers of days, like, okay, trade for 30 days and fulfill all of these criteria. But right now, most of them have removed time bound. So you could be trading it for 3 months, 4 months, as long as you are within those confines. So if you are getting into that, you need to understand all the contract that is written so that you don't get to what we call breach. Once that is done and you passed it, they will tell you, okay, you come back maybe after a month or 6 months. All of this is just online. I'm just using this drama to explain, right? They tell you, okay, you have passed. Congratulations, you have told us that you're a trader. So they repeat the same process, put a 10,000 in another account and say, do what you did again. So when you do that and you fulfill that purpose again, now you can place withdraw on the 1,000 that you made. That's for a 2-step verification, 1-step verification. If it's 2-step, after the first one you pass, they will tell you, okay, now the criteria are lesser. Instead of making 10%, make 5%. Are you getting it now? Then we have the new ones that just came into play. They are called the instant funding. This one does not require that you pass a criteria, so to say. Once you pay that fee to them, they give you an account. Once you make money on the account, if you meet the criteria, like, okay, 15% in 5 days, or you wait whatever amount. Don't let me get into that. It might get complicated. I'm going to make a whole video about each prop firms that I've used and the type that I've used. But the purpose of the video is the idea of what prop firm is altogether. So once you pass that and they put another money into an account for you, what they did on the first one was to give you a simulation account, like a demo account to practice with. Once you pass that, if it's 1 step, you now have a live account to trade with. Now, once you now pass that, there is what we call the profit split. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. And this is where I'm going to be challenging people that says that prop firms are scams, because it does the prop firm more benefits to have you trade for them than to just want your registration money and quit. Why some might argue that, oh, that fee that is being paid is paid by a lot of traders and many do it like 4 or 5 times. So they were making money off trader. But how much is that compared to if they have a profitable trader they can split with? So back to my profit split explanation. So once you pass like that 10,000 and they put a 10,000 in a live account, and let's say you make another 1,000, it could be a week, it could be bi-weekly, it could be a month, depending on the payout of the prop firm you are with. You place a withdrawal and they will split with you. Some have 80-20 split, some have 70-30 split. Once you click the withdrawal, $700 lands into your bank account. Remember, you paid only $110 or thereabout to get this opportunity. So once you have that in your account, the beautiful thing is that you still have the accounts to continue trading with. If you repeat that and you don't breach the contract, you could be withdrawing 1,000 like that every other time you make 1,000, right? And there are even some prop firms that are going to refund you the money that you signed up with. Whew. I hope that explanation wasn't as complex. You can watch this all over again. Comment for the questions that you have on this, and I'm going to make another video to break it down and talk about the companies that I've been with. Yeah, so with this process, I've been how I was able to make up to like $700 or $800 from prop firms as a new prop firm trader when I got funded. And that is also how I am planning to make up to 100 million naira this year trading prop firms. If that makes sense to you, subscribe to my channel. It goes without saying. And I will see you on the next video. Cheers.